Okay, how do you deal with trust? And you've already clarified that we're talking both about regaining trust and someone with a trust issue. With the trust issue, that's the easiest one to talk about. So I'll say that first. There's a trigger from their past, be it recent or as a child, childhood trauma, right? And them refusing to grow, to become strong in that area is why they have a trust issue. Therapy helps with unpacking for those who are trying to identify what the heck is going on. A form of coaching helps with getting the transformation that's needed to grow, the self development that's needed to grow, to deal with, to become the mature version of the person that has to heal. So, where there's a trust issue, there's also someone who does not want to be hurt. So, they're trying to avoid pain, if you will. I can say a whole lot more, but I'm going to try to keep this brief. The person who needs to regain trust, I would say this first: forgiveness is a gift. So, if the person who was hurt, who the trust was breached with, even allows the person to forgive them, that to say I'm sorry altogether, I'm sorry, that is a gift within itself. You'll find that in many relationships, the person who did wrong got it right with the next person after they went through their journey, because the person that they wronged, as far as breaching their trust, they just didn't want to move forward with the relationship altogether. So if you are a person like my wife who decided to stay in the relationship, and in my case, the trust issues with was with creating an emotionally safe environment, period. Like, I came into my marriage angry. So my wife would try to figure out what could she say or not say for this dude not to get all emotional and not just want to yell and just act stupid as far as, my tone or the environment altogether. Like, even with the kids, not being so with the kids. Um, so in this case, if you choose to stay and you chose to stay, I don't know your situation, even when the person becomes the person that they need to be. When I became the person that I need to be, I was confronted by my wife and she said, "Look, I'm mad because I can't address the person that you were. I'm grateful for the person that you became and the person that you are. But sometimes I just watch you sleep and I want to kick you off the bed. But it feels unfair because it's not the person that you currently are. And in some ways, you don't even remember who you were. You changed so much. And I'm grateful, but like, and then I can remember when my wife went to therapy. That was rough for me because she relived a lot. And she also was introduced to things that she laid dormant and hid and tucked away. So I had to go through the full process over again, even though I'm the changed individual. My sensitivity to her reality required me to have no pride, for real, humble myself in every way, shape, or form, and cater to her because it's not insecurities for her. It's real for her. And I learned from my former pastor that even when a person brings up something that you've already apologized for, that feeling is real for them. So you have to even be prepared to apologize continuously. Every time. I'm sorry this video is so long, but this is why I didn't type a response. The regaining trust feels like you're on an uphill battle that's well worth it, because once you reach that mountaintop, the legacy that you have defended, the generational curses that you've broken, make it well worth the time. So I don't regret having to go through this process. The program that I provide is the process that I had to use on myself twice. And it's not even guaranteed that I won't have to do it a third time or a fourth time. Whenever we move through stages in life, it is forms of grief. It's just a funeral that we don't have the opportunity to go to because we're still alive. So, with that being said, it's phases. Like I know in therapy, they teach individuals, and I'm not a therapist at all, I'm a life coach. In therapy, they teach the phases of grief, and sometimes it recycles. And it can feel like an ongoing cycle, if you will. And I know a therapist can explain it much better than I can. So, as a coach, I have to be sensitive to the fact that when my wife is talking about something that needs to be unpacked, she might not be ready for transformation, but at the same time, when it's time for transformation as her husband, I have to gently encourage it, not forcefully, but gently encourage it. So those difficult conversations, I can't just wait for her to be ready because she might not ever be ready unless I initiate it because I am her husband. That's where it gets interesting because as a husband, we are to initiate things. We are to lead, right? But we are not masters. So I love this question. I hope I answered it. And I'm sorry that it took 7 minutes to respond. Love you, sis. Pray all is well.